Hi, Lynn Kenyon, Everything Montana Real Estate, in conjunction with Live in Montana Real Estate. Thanks for joining us. So this is a flip, and we're going to walk in, and this is a townhouse. It's got one room upstairs, one apartment upstairs, and then the main level, and then a basement. They're a little bit started into it already. This is not the first day, but this is a company that does flips in Great Falls, has a background in it, and we're going to walk through and just talk about what you're looking for when you're considering doing a flip, things you should be aware of, precautions, and learn some things about flipping if you decide to flip. Let's go in and talk to Sarah. Sarah, hey, thanks for joining us today. This is Sarah Campbell, Campbell Investments, and Sarah and her husband Justin have done flips in Great Falls. They started in California. This is one of several they've done, and this is the townhouse. And so tell us what you've done. When you looked at this house, what did you think, first of all?
This is probably one of the better ones that I've seen, that I didn't walk in and go, ugh. So some of the work had already been done when we walked in here. So it had already been painted on the outside. They had already started like tearing things out. So like all of the flooring was gone. You know, we were down to the base, to the boards and everything. So really this one was as close to clean slate as a lot of the ones that we've come from.
And you shared with me earlier that sometimes you walk in and go, no way, and Justin's like, oh, this is great, right?
He likes to say they smell like money.
There you go.
So
that's a good smell. So good, yeah, if you keep it in perspective. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, what do you do with this beautiful original wood floor? What do you do when you see this?
So we evaluate, can we save it for a reasonable price? We've actually already bought flooring for this building because just the ratio cost to return, it just wasn't there to justify it.
Sure.
So we already have flooring purchased. We will be putting laying floor. It won't be carpet. I'm not sure if Justin has gotten vinyl or hardwood, but he's already been to the store. He's already got it ordered. It's on its way.
Got it.
He's got his process ball moving.
And I see Brad's putting in all new baseboard heaters. These look pretty wicked. Is that common that you do that? Unless we can walk through the house and get out of his way. When you, like these electrical, I would think this would be a big priority, the way they look.
Of course, absolutely. So one of the things, some flippers you see on TikTok, people go through their flipped house and they've got baseboard Velcroed to the wall and it's only painted so far. We try really hard to make sure that when we sell a house, it's something that we're proud to sell to someone. A lot of times we'll include like a 1-year home warranty because they're not very expensive, but they do give the buyer kind of peace of mind.
Yep, makes a lot of sense.
Those kinds of things, heaters, water lines, those are super high priority to make sure we're selling a good house.
That makes sense. So in this one, you said you put a closet in.
So this closet has been framed in since we bought it because this was just a little tiny bedroom room. But becoming more functional, you can see this becoming like a kid's bedroom or a home office. You could even put a guest room in here with a day bed. You've got a lot of options.
So in closets, they say make a bedroom. That's not necessarily true. If you Google it, you can be a bedroom without a closet. It has to have ingress and egress. But from an appraiser perspective and a practical, adding something like a closet, and now you can call it a bedroom's got to be a big plus, I would think.
Absolutely. And perception.
It is a real estate, yeah.
Yeah, perception is such an important thing. You walk into an empty room and you're like, well, I guess this is a bedroom. You walk into a room with a closet and now you're like, oh, okay, this is where little number 3 can sleep, that kind of thing. You start getting, it helps to create vision.
People, yeah, they need that for sure. I can see that. Okay, so new floor. Do you tend to lean towards replacing hardwood with hardwood, or are you seeing more laminates?
More laminates just because of the cost efficiency and the durability.
Yeah.
We're always open, but generally speaking, with the price points that we're looking at, we're going to go with a nice laminate. We're going to make sure that we're putting in something that people are going to enjoy and not cringe at, but we're going to go with a laminate because it's going to last a long time. It is cost efficient and they do look nice.
So who's your buyer? Because you have You have both spaces. We have another room upstairs that we'll go into next. Is it an investor? Is it owner occupant where they're going to keep one? Or are they going to convert it back to one home? Who do you target?
So for like a house like this, where you've got two living spaces, really it's ideal for you've got people who are learning how to home hack, where they rent out one part of their home to help cover the mortgage.
Home hack, that's a new one. Like that, okay.
You know, because then it pays most of their mortgage. And when you've got, you know, it can be hard to get into the housing market. So, you know, we want to make the community better. So if we can sell to someone like that, that's exciting for us.
That's great. That's really good. So you guys do some of the work. I know things like electrical, you have to hire a licensed contractor, get a permit, that sort of thing. Okay.
All of our contractors are licensed and insured. We make sure that everybody is, you know, at the top of their game, making sure their insurance is, because, you know, you're going to have claims. It's going to happen. And so you want to make sure that you're working with people whose insurance will work with you.
Perfect.
So that's a lot of experience.
Yeah, that's great. Let's walk through just kind of and see, because we're going to come back in a few weeks and see what kind of progress they've made, how they've started to transform it. Obviously another bedroom in here. Do you replace windows, or is that a high? So everything is bottom line. So you're evaluating for, is it going to get you to where you need to get?
Exactly. How can we make this house something we're proud to sell and still meet our criteria for profit margin?
Yep. Okay.
And so we replace windows because in Montana it's you have to. You know, like if they're decent double pane windows, you know, we might give them a good clean and not replace them. But for the most part, if they're single pane, we're going to replace them.
Interesting. Okay. Another closet here. This is, Charlie will take some photos so we can see the before and afters, and then we can visit about doors. Do you always replace doors, or just
Not always.
case by case?
Case by case. You know, no reason to throw a baby out with the bathwater.
There you go. Bathrooms, what was this like before?
So when we came in here, it looked like this. I think that's even the vanity that they had already purchased for it. So I think all of the fixtures, well, obviously all the fixtures, but I think even the vanity is getting an upgrade.
Okay. So I'm looking at knob and.
So that is
tube.
existing. That like remaining. The house is not actually knob and tube.
So that's just behind
left
the walls.
over.
And,
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. This is their kitchen.
This is the kitchen. Again, you have to have vision, but you know, all of the plumbing things had to be opened up so we could get plumbing taken care of upstairs for the second unit.
So what's the most expensive
Well,
item on everything? Foundation for sure.
I was going to say, if we don't have to do anything with foundation, it's just going to depend, you know, how much rewiring has to be done, how much replumbing has to be done. The plumbing on the next flip that we're going to go see it's a disaster.
Okay.
So, you know, it just, again, like I said, when we bought this one, they had already done some of the groundwork.
So do you get a contractor in to bid it before you even buy it?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, let's wander through this and we'll go upstairs. Just see some of the befores and afters. We won't go downstairs. No, let's just go up to the next one. So are you doing windows in there, you said?
I believe so.
Okay.
I say that. I'm not 100% now.
So lath and plaster, do you worry about asbestos and that sort of thing in these? Do you get those tested, or is
Yes. Yeah, we get them tested.
Okay, so now we're walking out on this adorable little porch, new doors, and this is the second unit. And we'll go upstairs and see, it's got some kind of wicked linoleum. What are you going to do on the stairs? I look at these wood stairs and I think paint them. What do you guys do?
We'll floor them with the same flooring that we do upstairs.
The same laminate?
Yeah. You know,
Isn't
these
it
are
just
all
tragic. You have these beautiful old floors, and I guess it makes more sense, more money sense.
more money, and it does break your heart a little bit because it could be really cool. But I think one of the things you have to remember when you're flipping a house is that you're not flipping this for you. Mm-hmm. So you don't want it to be just a generic blah home, but at the same time you leave it enough blank slate for whoever is coming in to make it theirs.
Sure.
Make it their spot.
Do you try to keep, like I look at this architecture and I love it. Mm-hmm. Do you try to keep that
Yes.
as much as you can?
And as much as we can, we try to retain any kind of character that the home has.
Sure. So this one, again, the same wood floors, teeny little kitchen.
Oh, kitchen's over here.
Oh, this is
That's bathroom.
okay.
So it's still a teeny little kitchen.
Yes.
But it'll be cute. A little eat-in with your small appliances. It'll be a great little apartment, especially if somebody buys it as an investment property or to house hack.
So do you, where do you buy your cabinets? You don't do anything custom, obviously?
No, we don't do custom. Generally speaking, Home Depot.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, makes sense. So I'm looking at the ceiling, it looks like it's been textured. Do you do that? That's kind of a mod look.
So we generally, it depends on what we're working with. You know, texturing can cover a multitude of sins that aren't structurally important. They just don't look great. So texturing can cover that up. Or the drywall looks great and you paint it.
Yeah, for sure. Mold, is that an issue in kitchens and bathrooms? Do you see that often and have to have it professionally tested? What are your experiences with that?
We have not come across mold issues so far.
We're pretty dry climate.
Yeah. And, you know, all of the other issues we come across, it's nice that we haven't had to deal with that one yet.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so this will be bathroom. And what's your plan here?
So, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think we're going to tweak this a little bit so that someone taller than me could stand up straight. You know, because you want people to be comfortable in their house.
Sure.
But it'll be a full bath. And the kitchen may not be very big, but the bathroom's a good size.
Yeah, the bathroom's bigger than the kitchen. 2 bedrooms.
Well, you're going to use one of them as a living room.
Okay,
As a living area, yeah. And I would say that would be this one, would be my guess. But people can do what they like.
Yeah, they don't.
It's
Because you've got closets in both, it looks like.
Yep.
So when you're evaluating, you look at what you're paying and what, after you put X amount in, what the market's going to bring.
What the market can bear. And so and then it's just a numbers game. Like, okay, if we're going to buy this house for 110, we're going to put we're going to put $50,000 into it. Okay, but I can sell it for 210. Okay, so that's a great opportunity. That's huge, not super common. You know, so then it just becomes a numbers game. How much are we going to be able to make off of this while still making it a house that we're proud to sell? So we have kind of our base number. No, we're not going to do it if we aren't going to make $50,000 on this house. Do we always end up with that $50,000? No, because things happen. The market changes, expenses come up, things that you didn't know were in the walls, that kind of thing. But when you're just sitting down trying to decide, it's a numbers game and you make your best guess.
Okay, so you've owned this like 10 days. When you bought it, you guys guessed what you're going to have to put into it and what you could get afterwards. So it'll be fun to see. So we're so new into this. You were thinking you were going to have to put in what, about X amount?
So Justin's the one that has all the numbers in it, but I believe the rehab on this was around $40,000.
So your budget's 40, and you think afterwards you can get in the range of?
We're hoping to get around 60 out of it.
How much
are we
going
going to sell it for? We're hoping to sell it for around $250.
Okay. There you go. All right, so it'll be fun in a few weeks to see, oh, that 40 just went to 60, or that 40 was 30.
Or Sarah totally made that number up, and we're going to sell it for something completely
Justin's
different.
Going to go, what is she talking about? So, I mean, I know the answer to this, but I have to ask, does the 40 ever become 30? Do you ever?
Oh, yeah.
Can you save? Do you find like discounts at Home Depot or something on flooring? And
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant, does the 40 that we thought we were going to make ever become 30? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, you find sales, you're able to repurpose things. You know, it's always better to overestimate how much you need than underestimate.
Absolutely.
So,
cool. So all the baseboards here, new windows, obviously those are cracked.
Yep. Bedroom.
So neighborhood would be a factor just on what neighbors around are getting when you're evaluating a
Of course.
certain areas have higher prices. Yeah, this has got a lot of charm. I can see what appealed to you.
I mean, you could put a cute table or something. You could do something out here that would be totally appropriate and fun.
House hacking, I like that one.
I did not coin that. Justin's
Oh,
been
it's good. I like it. All right. Well, thanks for sharing this with us, and we'll be back in a few weeks and see how you've done and what it looks like, and continue to watch it as you go. Thanks for walking through with both of these houses. It'll be really fun to get Justin back in here in a couple weeks, see what you've done, see what it's turned into, how it looks, the improvements. The challenges you've maybe met as you've dug into it further, like these obviously have, and then at the end of the day, what yay or nay as far as making money on it. But thanks a lot. We'll
thanks so
walk
much,
through
Lynn.
a couple more and go from there.
Appreciate you.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, so thank you for joining us. Again, this is everythingmtrealestate.com, everything Montana real estate. We're going to go through all kinds of topics over the next years, frankly, financing, surveying, title work, everything that you're going to hit when you're trying to buy a house or sell it, starting with this remodel project that Campbell Investments is walking us through, and we will watch this house specifically till we get to close, and we'll track it, and you'll get an idea of what you're going to want to consider if you're going to want to do a flip. So thanks for joining us. Again, Everything Montana Real Estate in conjunction with Live in Montana Real Estate. I'm Lynn Kenyon. We'll see you next time. Lynn Kenyon, Everything Montana Real Estate in conjunction with Live in Montana Real Estate. And these are tutorials on buying, selling, flipping, loans, surveys, appraising, all kinds of aspects, every aspect associated with real estate, because people really don't understand. Public doesn't understand some of this stuff. So flips are hot. We love flips. They're always fun to see the before and the after. About 6 weeks ago, we were at this duplex, and we met with Sarah. Sarah's husband, Justin, was on a mission, and I've been in touch with Justin. And a couple weeks ago, he said, yeah, within like 6 weeks, we should be almost ready to go to market. So that'd be a good time to come back and walk through it. Well, just walk through them. We'll walk through with Justin here. And things happen with flips. They're not always as fast as you think. They're not as easy as you think. So let's walk through these. You saw this one 6 weeks ago. Let's walk through it now and see what it looks like and see what's been done and how his feelings are. Hey, Justin.
Hey, good to see ya.
Hey, thanks for joining us. I was just telling our viewers just some of the ups and downs of flipping, and that we were going to come back and this was going to be ready to go to market.
yeah.
We were 6 weeks ago, and
Absolutely.
now we just walked through a few minutes ago. But tell us when we were here, there was an electrician. So what were you, you were on your mission, you came back, and you had expected more. What are the challenges of doing these things?
Sure. So the timeline is definitely delayed. Most of the work that's been done over the last month or so, you can't really see. So the electrical.
Let's walk through, because they were walked through last time, and you can see. Go ahead, sorry.
So the electrical's done, the plumbing is done, so all the stuff that you can't see is done, but the stuff that we would like to see, the progress and the flooring, the painting, all of that is a little bit delayed. So that's kind of the world of flipping houses.
Yeah.
You hope it goes a lot faster, but usually it goes a lot slower.
And why is that? What's the usual culprit in something like that?
I think when we're trying to flip things, we're trying to hit the market at the right time. And you don't know what the market's going to do, so we're trying to get on as fast as possible. So I'm pushing the timeline. The contractors, they kind of bring some realism to it.
Sure. Is it hard to find contractors, reliable contractors?
It is, definitely.
Yeah, especially HVAC and plumbing and electrical. Those guys have to be, you got to get permits for that stuff. So
Yeah.
you can't just go do it in your sleepers. You got to get the right guys.
Yeah.
So it looks like just in here, it looks like they did do doors. The bathroom in a lot better condition than it
Yep,
was
so
when we saw it?
we've got the insert in for the bathroom. Again, the plumbing's done, but you know, still a lot more, a lot of the finishes need to be done still.
So this one, new door, this has all been demoed. Ceiling looks good, so you've got some sheetrock.
Yep.
What is sheetrock time consuming? I've heard it can be really, you can do good and bad.
Yep, it depends on who you get. So if you get somebody that's not very experienced, it goes really slow. The patching looks bad. You get seams. But if you get somebody that's good, it goes very fast and it's great. So it's worth paying for.
I was going to say, how particular on a flipper is a buyer on something like that?
Yeah, it depends on the end goal. So if it's kind of on the economy level, it matters less. But if it's a high-end flip, then you have to get all of the tiny details nailed.
I imagine. All right. So then this one's not as far as we thought. And then we have the other one next door that really just looks the same. I don't see any difference in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And you're, like I said, when you and I talked, it was, all right, we're going to market. So tell us now, standing here, what do you think? What's your prediction? So today is March 21st.
Yeah, March 21st. So the most current timeline that we have is the end of April. And so we're trying to push that up a couple of weeks, but that's where we're at right now. So it should be live May 1st.
May 1st is the goal, to have it go live.
Yeah.
And then you hire real estate agents to do that. You don't try to do it yourself.
Correct. Yeah.
And
yeah. Well, the quality of photography, videography, marketing, all of that is so expensive, and if you don't do it right, it costs.
Sure. And your Red Door, the name of your company.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
And you're Justin Campbell,
Yep.
you and your wife Sarah, who joined us last time. And your phone number to share if people have something they want to flip would be?
Yeah, 406-468-8001.
So if you have something, you just inherit it, and you're just like, I live in New York and I don't want to deal with it, just call you and you'll go through the process. Do you hire a realtor then to go through the paperwork when you do that, or do you do it on your own?
Yeah, I would actually say talk to Lynn, and then Lynn will talk to me.
Okay, well, there you go too.
Yeah.
Call me, give me a ring, and we'll do a deal, do a quick deal. So when you're getting these loans, you get loans on these. You get private money loans.
So we do cash. We've got a private money lender that partners with us, so we can do quick closes, cash deals, little to no contingencies.
And a lot of these houses you're buying, they're not going to typically finance anyway, correct?
Right, that's right.
So that's for a seller, they have to consider that. It's not going to go VA or FHA, so you having cash expedites their process.
That's right.
And you're not as picky maybe than some other just secondary market buyer would be, who wants to go live in it.
Yeah, we look into it, and we're not looking at its current condition. We're looking at what it can be.
Yeah, and you, according to Sarah, you have great ability to do that. You have vision and can see the good and the bad in these.
That's nice of her to say.
Well, that is nice of her to say, but I'm sure she's right. You've done well with these, and you have a system set, and you walk in and the contractor's not done it. Now that costs you. I mean, what are you paying on this house for that extra over a month, way over a month?
Yeah. So it's
sitting here.
Yeah, it's like $3,300 a month. Just in holding fees.
So that cuts into your profit.
It does.
Yeah. Do you do any of the work yourself?
No. Nope. If I did it myself, it would take even longer.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
So Great Falls, Montana, what do you think of the market? You're going to make as much as you thought on this one when you're done?
I think we will. The supply and demand says, there's almost nothing on the market right now. So yeah, we'll buying up everything we can.
So did you... since we can't walk through the house, there's not as much to see. Just understanding this process, I think, is really helpful for people. Did you take classes to do this, or did you just say, or did you fall into it? How did you how'd you and Sarah end up doing this?
Yeah, I read about 6 books and listened to a bunch of podcasts and thought, I think I'd like to try it. And we put that information into one, and it went really well, and we've just been learning and growing since. So
you've gotten better. Is there anything how many years doing it that you would not do today that you did when you first started?
Yeah, well, it depends. If you've got the time and you only want to do 1 or 2 a year, do the work yourself and take time. If you flip it within a year, you've got to pay short-term capital gains. And so if you can wait that year and let it sit, especially if you can put a renter in it, it's better for tax purposes. But if you're looking to scale up and do quite a few, then don't do, find as many teammates as you can. Otherwise, you'll just bottleneck the process.
So yeah, $3,000 a month. So if you're going to do it, there's $36,000 right there. So you got to make that up. So if you hire a contractor, then so you got to weigh those.
Yeah.
So it all comes down to math.
Yeah.
I tell my nieces and nephews, math, think money.
Yeah.
Don't think gallons and think money. I
Yep.
mean, because it is. You've got to figure, you've got to project,
Yep.
and understand what your bottom line is going to be.
Yeah, in house flipping, it's both sides of the brain. I mean, there's a right side where there's some artistic, vision to it, but a lot of it is left brain. It's just a math equation. Do the numbers make sense? If yes, move forward. If no, pass on it.
So then just totally opposite. So thinking money as that's why you're doing this. You're not doing it for fun because you're bored. Then I think of like trends. I tell my sellers in real estate, everything's gray and white right now. If you're gray and white or an outside is black and white, you're golden. That's what everybody wants. What do you see? That's just my take on it. Are you seeing?
Same thing.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and it really does matter. I mean, splashes of color are becoming more and more in style.
In conjunction with the gray and white?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, but
So like what? Like throw a turquoise on a wall, or
not turquoise, but like almost like a forest green, or I'm not very good with the colors. I have other people pick the colors, but you'll see things that are, I don't know, you'd probably be able to describe this better. Not pastels, but
okay, vivid colors, bold colors,
Yeah,
more. Huh.
yeah.
Interesting. So, what's your prediction for the next trend in colors? You have one?
I don't have any. No, I don't have
Just
any
follow
predictions.
and see what happens.
Yeah, get a good team member that will tell you.
Yeah. Do you hire interior designers then to help you with that sort of thing?
A project manager that has interior design
Background.
Yeah, background.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So are you all year long, you see something at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, are you going to the clearance? Are you on Amazon? Are you always just looking for good deals, or do you just wait and get the project and then buy?
That's exactly right. Yeah, we
Do you?
don't have storage, and so every project we're buying new, wherever the inventory's at.
So you just make a list of what you need and then you go buy it?
Yeah.
A lot online or more brick and mortar?
Both. We do both. J&M, Home Depot, sometimes Amazon. We like to keep as much local as possible, though.
Sure. Well, that's nice. Yeah, that's good. That's local, and then they help you too.
Yeah.
So interesting. I mean, the whole process is. I mean, it's. I'm sure it's a lot easier when you're watching it on TV than it is in real life. Well,
I
we're
would say
seeing
so.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great example of what really happens.
Yeah.
That you and I are. Oh yeah, that'll be on the market. We'll be ready to go. Probably have a sign in the yard by the time you get there. And
Yeah.
And I don't think so.
Yeah. No.
Not the one I'm looking at.
Looks about
but
the same.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks. I appreciate your
Yeah.
time. Hi, Lynn Kenyon, Everything Montana Real Estate, tutorials, walkthroughs, videos on everything related to real estate in Montana, and it will be. This will be a very comprehensive, different videos showing you what is happening in real estate, helping you understand real estate and different aspects of it. This is one of our flips. We're nearing the end on this one. We started when it was a mess. Justin assures me now that it looks a million times better, and this is in conjunction with Live in Montana Real Estate. I own Live in Montana Real Estate, and I really see a need of understanding real estate. So let's go in, let's talk to Justin through this duplex that he bought intentionally to flip. Let's go talk to Justin. Justin.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you. Wow, what a difference already.
Yeah, that's right.
That looks a lot different than it did when we were here last time and he was just working on the electrical.
Yeah.
So nice green wall, and did you have to do, what else did you do in here?
All
This
new
is living room.
flooring.
Okay.
Yeah. Had to replace some of the window panes, obviously paint, some trim work.
Kept the light. That
Yeah,
doesn't happen
yeah.
much, I bet.
Same light. Yeah.
Not original to the house, for sure.
That's right.
Not a 1900s. So a little bedroom, new flooring. You gotta love that. When you can retain that molding.
Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful molding, really expensive to replace, so glad to have that. This room, the only thing we did, you can see there's a little bit of touch up with the trim work and with the baseboards. We moved the closet, so originally the closet was over there, but there was no place to put a bed, so we had to move it over here.
New doors.
New doors, yeah.
New hardware. Then bathroom is all new.
Yep, that's right, yep. Tile surround, new tub, everything's new.
And this is a duplex, so this is just one side of it.
Yep, that's right.
Any unexpected expenses
Uh,
on this one?
there always is.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, some of the electrical we had to update that we weren't planning on. Broken water line that we had to fix, replace. We had to knock down the garage in the back.
Is that a trash compactor?
Nope, that's the dishwasher.
Oh,
that's the little guy.
Teeny.
Yep,
Do you always go stainless?
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These are great cabinets too. And you have a designer help you, it looks like it.
yes.
This is nice. I love this open shelving. Are you doing more of that? You seeing
Uh,
that? Save you some money, I bet.
Yeah, it
over
absolutely
cabinets.
does. Yeah, yeah, it saves us. Yeah, we like it when there's limited space. Sometimes putting shelving on the whole for the whole kitchen, it just makes it feel cluttered.
So master, new flooring, new windows, some new windows.
Yeah.
So what's a determining factor? Like this looks like it was here when you bought, and this is brand new.
That's right. Yeah.
Broken, or is there more
Yeah.
to it
So
than that?
if the window or if they're single paned or if they're broken, then we'll replace it. But these are newer windows, so double paned. They
It's not
still
right.
the hardware still works just fine. So there's no value add to replace the windows.
Okay. Let's go next door and look at the
Yeah.
other side.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the other side.
Yep.
Now we've got new carpet, it looks like, new paint, looks a lot nicer. Big closets, new lighting, new doors again. Same rationale on windows. You didn't have to replace many windows.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice carpet, very neutral. And then this is that teeny little kitchen. So you've still got a little bit of work here to do.
Yeah, a little bit. Mostly just punch list stuff at this point.
So it looks a lot like the downstairs one with the stainless.
Yep.
So this is a little behind because we keep rebooking these videos. How
Yep.
much longer is this taking to finish?
About 6 weeks
6 weeks longer
Yeah.
than,
our original estimate.
and that's because,
Contractor availability is a lot of it.
what about, I know supply chain, is that a factor?
No, it hasn't been for us. No, we were able to order everything on the front side so that it was here. A lot of the stuff that we buy, we just buy whatever's in stock. So,
Sure, that makes sense,
Yeah.
as long as it's not olive green and harvest gold.
Yeah, that's right.
Not a lot
Yeah.
of that at Home Depot anymore. So we're ready to go, right? I mean, another week and you can get this listed?
Yeah, we're actually decided that we will most likely keep it instead of selling it.
You're gonna keep it?
I think we are.
I thought everything was a flip.
Yeah, everything is a flip until it makes too good of sense to keep it.
Wow. So what were the factors to help you make that decision?
Yeah, well, we always try to keep what we can. Originally, we were gonna flip this just for the cash flow so we could reinvest it. But you know, with being able to rent, I think we could rent the other side. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. We can rent that for at least $1,600.
Wow.
On this side, we'll probably make it into an Airbnb, so we'll gross probably $2,400 a month. So it just makes too good a sense to sell.
Wow. That's a about face. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
So what was the, again, ARV after renovation value was going to be what originally on this?
So originally it was supposed to be about 280,
Uh-huh.
but we're looking, it's supposed to be about 320 at this point, just with recent comps, and you know, this is best time to sell, so.
Right. So when was that done, and how many months did it go at $40,000?
Yeah, so we originally ran comps in December for this, and there
And
just
now?
wasn't a whole lot comparable, but there's been several duplexes that have sold top dollar in the area, so.
So what was the rent change? I mean, you have to factor both those in, I assume.
Yeah, we didn't really look at the rent, until we started running numbers and thinking, do we want to keep it? And really, it had to do with we had a capital investor that was willing to hold the note for us, and so
Because it's private money.
because it's private money.
So then do you have to pay one of them off normally when you flip? You're paying off that investor, and you bought time.
Yep.
So that's an option. It's all negotiation with your investor.
It is. Yep.
So he's getting a higher interest rate than he would on his investment.
That's right.
And so he's willing to wait for you guys to pay the thing off and just go this direction.
We negotiated a 7% interest rate with an 8-year ARM, and so with that, it's interest-only payments, and so with that,
Made sense.
It cash flows how we would like it to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So, $1 million question. Hopefully, it's not $1 million. Would you have done things differently had you known you were going to keep it yourself?
It started kicking around in the back of our mind with enough time to make so originally we weren't going to put a dishwasher up here, but if we're going to run an Airbnb, we've got to have a dishwasher. And so we were able to make some of the changes. We would have probably not carpeted downstairs as much, but
because it's higher maintenance.
It's higher
when
maintenance.
People come in and out with animals and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Huh. Do you allow animals when you rent?
Not for the Airbnb.
Not for the Airbnb.
No.
Interesting. Well, I'd love to we need to do a whole segment on Airbnbs.
Sure.
Because that's all the rave, and they're wildly lucrative.
Yeah.
I have them myself, and they are or they're not,
Yeah.
like anything, just like a rental and just like a flip. It's how
Yeah.
you do it, and that's why we're visiting. So, well, that's great. That's interesting that you're going to keep it, and it's been nice seeing the transformation, and I can't wait to go to this next one and see what you've done there.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Chester.
you.
Appreciate it. Hi, Lynn Kenyon. Thanks for walking through this duplex that we started with. Remember how bad it looked and how good it's on the verge of being done. And again, Justin surprised me and himself when he decided not to flip this one and to keep it and rent it. And that's always what you're going to want to do. It's going to be a numbers game. You're going to want to figure out what makes the most financial sense. If you need the capital to reinvest, you're going to have to sell it if it makes more sense to keep it, and you can work with a lender to do that. It's just going to be very individual, but good to know that every flip shouldn't necessarily be a flip. And it's been fun watching this one, and let's go to this next one. And Lynn Kenyon, Everything Montana Real Estate, as well as Live in Montana Real Estate. Thanks for joining us, and we'll keep going.